You know, if anyone had told me a Thursday afternoon would turn my whole world upside down, I would have laughed and gone back to my spreadsheets. But there I was, right in the richest part of the city, taking in the air that always smells like new money and roses, about to step inside my house without a care in the world, just thinking about work, numbers, deals, all the usual noise. And then, right as I'm reaching for my door, it happens this kid, barefoot and wild-eyed, comes charging at me from the end of the driveway, shouting so loud it cuts through every thought in my head. "Don't go in, sir. Please don't." I mean, imagine Theta, 7-year-old, dirty khaki shirt, ripped pants, and a yellow hat crumpled in his hand, running at a full sprint, voice breaking. For a second, I think maybe it's some prank, or worse, a setup, but the look on his facete's not something you can fake, you know what I mean? I snap at him. "Who are you? You know you're on private property, right?" But he just keeps going, so scared he's barely breathing. "You can't go in, they put something inside. Please, you have to believe me." My hand still on the handle part of me wants to just open the door, call security, handle it like every other nuisance, but there's this pit in my stomach. Something tells me to listen, just this once. I ask who planted what, and now the kid looks around, eyes darting like he expects to get snatched away any second. He says, "2 men in black hoodies, they broke in last night. I saw everything. I was sleeping behind your trash cans. They didn't see me." That's when I really look at him shaking, voice raw. He goes on, "They said, the rich always win, but tonight he won't wake up." And then one of them put something by the door. It beeped. I heard it. My heart just about stops. I step back, all those instincts kicking, and call the cops. Bomb squad rolls in. 15, 20 minutes later, there's flashing lights and half the city's police on my lawn. And yeah, they find ETA remote detonator rigged to go off as soon as I turn that handle. I stand there, arms crossed, watching them work, realizing just how close I came to being a headline. And none of it would have happened if that kid hadn't been there, hidden in the shadows, watching out for someone he didn't even know. So of course I want to know, who'd go this far to see me dead? Then it hits Mezix months back. My company won the bid to build luxury condos smack in the middle of a poor neighborhood. Whole families kicked out, businesses shut down, and yeah, I saw the protests, the letters, but I kept my head down. Profit first, always. One guy, Victor Gaines, he lost everything: home, wife, even custody of his son. I remember him begging outside my office, begging for help, and I had security walk him out. That's the last I thought of him. Well, not anymore. The police confirm it. Victor and his buddy, a guy who knows his way around explosives, try to send a message. They wanted the world to see that even the rich aren't untouchable. But they didn't count on a little boy Malik sleeping behind my trash bins, seeing everything, saving my life. When things calmed down, Malik's just sitting there, clutching that hat, quiet as a stone. I kneel down, ask, "Why'd you do it?" He shrugs, says, "You look nice in the picture." I'm lost for a second, but then he pulls out this old, wrinkled newspaper clipping. 3 years ago, big check in hand, grinning at some orphanage event. I remember the day. It was for PR. I never even went back. But to Malik, that picture was hope he'd lived at that orphanage once, held onto that photo, folded and worn, all this time. I tell the cops to make sure he gets fed, gets a checkup, new clothes, whatever he needs. He looks up at me, scared. "You're not mad?" And all I can say is, "Kid, you saved my life." But then, just as I'm thinking things are over, I see Victor being hauled away, shouting, "I begged you. My son's gone because of you." Our eyes lock, and suddenly I don't see a villain. I see a father broken by a world that chewed him up and spit him out while I was busy counting my profits. And you want the honest truth? I'd lost family too. My little brother died on the street, lost to addiction and homelessness. All the money I had couldn't save him. That guilt, it doesn't leave you. That night, when everyone's gone, I just sit out front, next to Malik, both of us under the porch light, silent. I ask, what if I hadn't listened? He hugs his knees, says, "Sometimes people don't listen until it's too late." That it's hard. I look at him, the bruises, the scraped knees, the dirt, and I can't help but ask, "Where's your family?" He shrugs. "Mama left me at the shelter. Said she'd come back. Never did. I ran when they tried to send me to foster care again." I stand, hold out my hand. "Come on inside. I've got a spare room and more pasta than I know what to do with." He hesitates, but takes my hand. It's not just a step into my house. It's a step into something new for both of us. In the days that follow, I keep Malik close, make sure he eats, gets clothes, sleeps in a real bed. But more than that, I listen. He tells me stories about the street, about other kids, about things I never bothered to notice. I start writing it all down. Then one day, I go back to that orphanage, not for a photo, not for the press, but to open it up again for real this time. Staff it with real people, build a trauma wing, and hang a plaque with Malik's name at the entrance, for the boy who saved more than one life. As for Victor, he got a reduced sentence after the court heard about everything he'd been through. I even helped find his son, made sure someone was looking out for him too. But the story, the real story, is what happened between me and Malik. At a press conference 2 weeks later, I put my hand on his shoulder and told the world, "This is my son." I didn't adopt him out of guilt or gratitude. I did it because for the first time, someone saw me for who I really am, not my money. And I saw someone who deserved better than what this world ever gave him. Malik, still clutching that yellow hat, looked up at me with tears in his eyes. And that house, the one where I almost died, became a home again. Not just for me, but for a kid who saved me in ways I'll never be able to repay. So, now I want to hear from you. What would you have done? Would you have listened to that kid? Or written him off? Was Victor wrong? Or was the system broken from the start? Is justice ever really simple? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think about right, wrong, and what we owe each other. Sometimes, it's the smallest voice that makes the biggest difference.